Calling any O-Star boat within range. Any O-Star boat, single-handed sailing vessel. Come in, please.
Plein milieu de l'Atlantique, les deux bateaux les plus extrêmes de l'épreuve qui se retrouvent.
For the first time in the history of the classic solo transit race, first staged in 1960 when it was won by Sir Francis Chichester, the Transat Bakerley is preceded by a non-timed pre-start warm-up from St Malo to Plymouth. Leaving through the city's lock in two shifts, half of the fleet at 1700 CET and half at 1800, the skippers and their VIP guests made their way out onto the open water, cheered on by the crowd lining the harbour wall.
Thanks to this Transat that we have all the good boats we have now. I think when Eric won the Transat in the 60s, he really makes the French people close to the offshore sailing, and it's origin of all offshore sailing we have in France, and I think it's historical, and it's good to come back to this type of race and to do the history now also, and to invent the future also. I have no idea, but I think the record is 8 days. I don't care so much about the record, it's just a race and we try to do before the second. But probably we can cross Atlantic between 6 to 10 days.
A lot of skippers will win this race, like Tabarly, Desjoyaux, Loïc Perron and Mike Golding. So for me it's very important to be here to the start of this race and it's a good training for the next Vendée Globe. This is the most difficult transat because we have a lot of wind, some big waves. We are going to Terre-Neuve and a lot of. It's not a sunny race; it's a winter race. So, but at the end, it's a pleasure to arrive in New York because for me it's important to win this race in your life. So I try to do that.
The thing is, since a lot of years I had the wish to cross again, like I've done my first Atlantic crossing when I was 19 on a mini transat, with the sextant, with the self-steering vane system, all this stuff. I wanted to do that since many, many years, but by the time you want to do something, it's a bit better to do it for something. And why not doing a story like that as a tribute to the big masters, the big sailing legends we have, like Éric Tabarly or like Mike Birch for the Rome race. So that's why I asked the owners of this Penduic Tour, the École Nationale de Voile in France, in Toulon, and the Tabarly Association in whatever. And I said to them, I would like to cross, to do the Transat again on Penduic Tour, like Eric did it 50 years ago, as a tribute to. And everybody said, yes, sure, for sure, that's a good idea. Even the Transat organization. And then that's it. So right now we are on this beauty, 52 years, exactly like it was 50 years ago. Exactly the same rig, the same size, no further, a bit of a mandatory electronic for sure, safe for some safety reason. And that's it. So I'm back to the sextant, to the safe steering system, which is very nice. Everything is quiet, super slow, a lot of books.
Just after 2000 CET, Loic Perron, aboard Penduic 2, was the first skipper to start the passage, followed by the Ultimates, Multi-50s, Classic 60s and Class 40s. The fleet will sail 130 nautical miles from St Malo to Plymouth, upwind in between 15 and 20 knots of wind.
So yeah, we're in here for the 2016 Sailing World Cup here, and it's going to prove to be a windy one. I think we've got the Mistral in at the moment, and it looks to be windy all week. This is the first event after being selected for the Australian Olympic team, so it's obviously going to be a nice event with less pressure than kind of the past year, but it's also kind of the first event for a while, so I feel a little bit rusty with the lots of boats out there, but it's kind of the start of a building block towards obviously the pinnacle at the Olympics. Yeah, Hyères has always gone pretty well for me, winning the past 3 years, so the goal is obviously to try and win a fourth in a row, and yeah, it's a nice place to sail, and especially I've liked it the last 3 years, definitely. Yeah, the forecast in Hyères is looking pretty windy and cold, so it's going to be a tough week and looking forward to racing.
The Antigua Classic Yacht Regatta is a unique event in the International Classic Yachting calendar for participants, atmosphere, scenery and racing conditions. In April of every year, 4 days of racing mark the end of the classic racing season in the Caribbean, bringing together dozens of classic and vintage ketches, sloops, schooners, yawls to create an extraordinary spectacle together with J-Class, tall ships and spirit of tradition. The latter category first began in Antigua in 1996, a testament to the high status of the event with the participants of the International Classic Yachting. It's been running for 30 years and the yacht club that promotes it is the Antigua Yacht Club, which was founded in 1967. The Roll of Honour for 2016 was Classic A first, Adi, first in Classic B, Argo, first Spirit of Tradition Wild Horses, first Traditional Zenny, first Vintage A Blue Peter, and first Classic B Mary Rose.
Hello, I'm Jens. We're here at the Classic Yacht Regatta in Antigua. We sailed all the way from Denmark to compete in this regatta, and so far we're enjoying it a lot.
The marina is fantastic, the people are fantastic.
We just had our neighbor over for a beer, and that's how it is here.
We have a wonderful time.
Yeah, it's just a good vibe.
These pictures speak for themselves. Here's the new Safran, weighing in at 8 tons and apparently flying over the water. This leap forward has been possible thanks to the yellow appendages which stick out on either side of the hull, looking like Salvador Dali's moustache, and which are referred to as foiling daggerboards. The faster the boat sails, the more efficient these foiling daggerboards. Safran was the first to test them. A foil is made up of 2 parts, a shaft and a tip. The foil is immersed on the same side as the sails to limit the amount of heel, with the tip offering lift to the boat, which sails higher in the air, reducing the wetted surface and therefore the drag. The foils complement the work done by the canting keel, which already takes the weight off the hull. This thrust in the opposite direction increases with speed and gradually the boat is raised up out of the water. The result is an incredible gain in speed, almost 2 knots with a strong wind on the beam, which is when these new appendages work most efficiently. Apart from the gains in speed, the foils reduce the pitching of the boat, offering greater stability under autopilot and contributing to improving safety when sailing. The only drawback is that these foiling daggerboards are not that efficient in light winds and when the boat has to sail upwind, but these weather conditions are not very common in the Vendée Globe. The Safran sailing team has a few months left to go before the start of the race to work on improving the performance in these 2 points of sail.
we are planning to do 2 races today, and the conditions are really difficult actually here, because sometimes it's really windy and then after that it dropped a lot, so it will be a hard day.
Going into the racing today was just kind of focused on the processes that I needed to execute to sail to my best, and just kind of focusing on my game and hoping that it'd be enough. Five or 6 girls going in today could still win the regatta, and that's the nature of laser racing. But it was good fun, and managed to do enough to pull off the win.
Alison Young.
This is some sensational footage of the Gitana sailing team's Edmund de Rothschild, the Imoca 60 foiler, in a breeze.
When it comes to Antigua Sailing Week, it feels like everyone on the island gets involved. Welcome to the festival. This is the 49th edition of the Caribbean's top regatta, and the appeal of beautiful boats carving across sparkling blue seas is attracting quite an audience. In broad strokes, of the 100 entries, 79 are in the purer racing classes, a big increase from recent years. And new race officer Stuart Childerley is adding his own sparkle.
What we're trying to do is just make sure that it's fun for the competitors. We keep the whole theme and the work that's done in the past years, keep that going, but introduce one or two new ideas.
For Bernie Evan Wong and crew aboard Team Taz Conviction, day one was a blast.
I think it's just amazing. I mean, the speed and the excitement of racing in this machine is incredible. This is, to me, this is a dream. I'm living my dream. "42 crews fired across the start line of the Round Antigua race. This 52-mile bash is always a great shakedown for Antigua Sailing Week. 20 knots of breeze made for a challenging race. The friends aboard the 82-foot Oyster Zigzag epitomise the Corinthian spirit of this event.
A lot of hard work getting a boat of this tonnage, 66 tonnes, and fighting it around the whole of Antigua absorbs a lot of effort, but it's great fun, wonderful time. Great day, perfect day.
With hotshots like Volvo Ocean Race winner Ian Walker aboard TP52 Gladiator, it was no surprise to see them victorious.
Great day out today, 15 to 20 knots, a 50-mile race around the island of Antigua. Never raced here before, and that's whetted the appetite for a whole week of racing just offshore here, so really looking forward to it on the Gladiator.
Stay true to me. I've been told that you can make